Yeah,
That's why I
you love
call
faces and pieces.
that's what I call a fail on hitting on someone. You just can't find a good a good thing to a good feature to talk to them about. Like your face, it's there. Damn girl, you.
What are we playing Fortnite now?
No, I gotta change that. I gotta change that. No, I have to though for it to work. I have to technically be on a game for it to work. But since my overlay is not going to be showing Fortnite, I just have to change the category to just chatting.
Right on, right on. Yeah, yeah.
Is that you talking in my chat? Logan Logan plays games. TTV. Welcome to the stream. We are debuting our first episode of our podcast, The Tavern. Welcome. We're just getting some last minute stuff set up. Take a seat. Have a drink. And the women, finest in all the land.
Oh, nice. He's almost at 50 followers. Let's go, Logan.
Oh, nice. He's almost at 50 followers. Let's go, Logan. I'm just double checking audio. Nothing wrong with that. And I just gotta say, thank you so much, Escanorian, the goddess of the cosmos, for making this awesome title screen. That's awesome. I love the tavern, how it's
Yeah,
written there. It's very
looks
nice.
nice. I like it.
All right, so we are currently chilling out in the Hillside Tavern. It's in the Hobbits Shire, and we are enjoying a pint as we tell tales of glory and of legend. Let's see. There we go. I guess we should start by introducing ourselves. Obviously, you guys know me as the Holy Knight Commander of the Knights of the Square Table. Square, also known as Ogren. And with me, we have my guests who will be joining us this evening. And most other evenings we do this. Which is go ahead and introduce
Oh,
yourselves.
yeah. All right. Hi. My name is Brad. You could possibly know me on YouTube as MoistPenguin, where I make some content sometimes. But yeah, I'm a gamer. Like playing games, watching anime, reading books, stuff like that. Just call me Brad. What's up? Yeah, that's me.
Nice. And the Burly Man. Who are you?
Hell yeah, man.
Heck yeah. And this is the Tavern. We will just be meeting once a month just to have a good time, chat it up. In the future episodes, we'll be interviewing people, which will be fun. Um, and yeah. So, you guys play any good games recently?
Yeah, I've been controversially speaking, I've been playing Fallout 76 lately. I've actually been enjoying it.
Hell yeah. Good game. Good game.
Yeah. Heck yeah, dude. Got it on that. You
Wait, did you build your camp near the space station? That's like the headquarters of the bandits. That's funny. Logan. Logan plays games. You reach 41 followers, so close to 50. That's awesome, dude. Super awesome. I'm sorry if that's a late intake on that. Reading that, I've been busy trying to like get behind the scenes stuff done. But that's awesome, dude. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, I've been wanting to play Fallout 76, so I definitely will be jumping on that at some point.
You should.
Because I love Fallout 76. Is there anything new since last time I played? Obviously, I started playing. I've been playing it for a while. So, is there anything new after they added the Brotherhood of Steel stuff? Because they added like a whole Brotherhood of Steel expansion last time I played. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Oh my! I'm jumping in now.
Ooh,
We got it. We got to do this.
heck yeah, man. I like that.
The nostalgia. Oh yeah, it's probably brutally like filled with those mutants in it, like the little skinwalker mutants. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Mike Vegas 88. Thanks for coming to the stream, dude. You have come just in time to our first episode of the Tavern. What's going on, man? Thank you for the hype emotes. That's super awesome. Thank you so much for coming. We're just talking about Fallout 76 and how apparently they're going to be taking a visit to the pit from Fallout 3, which is going to be awesome. Sorry for the interruption, guys, if you want to continue. mm. Oh.
On a sail, and I've been loving it. It feels like a Bethesda game. It works sometimes, and the story is okay.
Have you guys seen the It Just Works musical video that they had?
Yeah.
You gotta check it out. It's hilarious. It's like it's like they've been making other videos similar to it recently because it got so popular. But it's pretty much just like Todd Howard. He's just like saying how you want a game that works? Too bad. You want a game that shits on your performance? We've got that. And he's like, you want us to fix it? Nah. You want your money back? Nah. It just works. Because of the famous line he stated where he's like, it just works. And it's like,
Yeah.
And they pretty much, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty much a smack in the face, but I remember that E3. I don't know how they did this time, but that last E3, they pretty much just said, yeah, our games are unfinished, and we're very blatant about it, but everybody took it like a joke, and I'm just sitting here like, they're literally rubbing it in our face. They're literally gloating about how they make unfinished games, and it's okay. They're like, it just works. I'm like, okay, wise guy. I didn't even like Oblivion, okay? And Skyrim was okay. It's past its time. Don't get cocky.
Now we're still gonna see at least 2 more iterations of Skyrim before the next game is.
Oh my gosh, dude! Did you guys? Cuban Mommy, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the hype emotes. We're just as I was telling Mike, we're doing our first episode of the Tavern. Sit down and grab a pint as we talk about Fallout and Bethesda and how they shit on everything and somehow make gold from it. Oh my gosh. They just like back in the old days, games came out gold, but ever since Skyrim and Minecraft, not shitting on Minecraft or Skyrim, but ever since Skyrim and Minecraft, games just now come out green, and then they work towards gold. And Bethesda don't even work towards it usually. Fallout 76 is the first time they've done that. Usually they just leave it there, and whenever people point out bugs, they're like, "That's a feature." Wink.
I
I've been good.
don't know that I would put.
Yes. How have I been, Cuban Mommy? I've been great. How have you been? And Logan goes, Minecraft is uprising again. Dude, Minecraft is a good game. Merely when I state that, I just mean Minecraft was the first game I feel like, from what I've seen, is the first game to officially come out totally indie, totally green, not being finished at all, and was able to become a AAA game and actually like grow into what it is now. Like after that came out, everybody realized, hey, if we release an unfinished survival game on Steam, Greenlight, for $20, we can make profit off of it and maybe work on it whenever we feel like it.
Oh my god.
I feel like Minecraft was the first major one to really start that. Before that, indie games just started indie and stayed indie.
Yeah.
But that game and Fez and Super Meat Boy, those games really like created a new world in gaming. Which dude, like they're gonna come out with a reboot. They better come out with a reboot. That was a good game. Very not afraid to be offensive. I mean, wasn't the main villain in it a fetus? Like a fetus with a monocle? Like makes sense. Tofu's the devil's spawn. Tofu is the devil's mayonnaise. That's funny. That's super funny.
My god. I feel like Minecraft never really was down, right? Like they not really like not down, but like not out of the limelight, right? They've always kind of just been up there,
I feel
like in
like
popularity.
I feel like there was a time where it was very popular to play Minecraft, to where even like they were streaming it and playing on YouTube and stuff like that. That's majorly where it got its kickoff, was YouTube, like Minecraft YouTubers and everything. And to be honest, that's what kicked off gaming on YouTube. Like a lot of the big names now started off just playing Minecraft on YouTube. And I remember they had Yogscast, all that stuff. But there was a time where I think it was only popular among children, and it was more of an icon than in the limelight. But recently, because of PewDiePie and a lot of other people, and also because Microsoft buying it and doing the updates, it's sort of regrown into it. Like now, it is totally, I feel like, possible to get big by just playing Minecraft on YouTube or streaming it. I mean, it wasn't always like there was a time where it wasn't seen much on Twitch, I feel like, but now it's the number one category on Twitch, other than just chatting and Fortnite. But I get what you're saying, though. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was ever down or out of the limelight, but it definitely has gained more of a following recently.
Right.
It's become cool to play Minecraft, I feel like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's always been relevant, but I feel like after they stopped, after Mojang stopped updating it, because there was a time after the end came out where they just patched it up, but I don't feel like they ever, like there was a time where they stopped updating it. I feel like because that's when I fell off of it, and
Mhm.
and I mean maybe on PC it could have been different because PC is a totally different animal. But like I know that people who when it came out on console and stuff like that, nobody like they just I feel like there was a time where they just stopped updating it, and um and then like I feel like after Microsoft bought it, it really kicked off with the updates. Like they started doing like the animal updates and the I mean, am I wrong here? Brad, you played it on PC. You own it on PC. Like, did they keep updating it after the end came out, like regularly?
Yeah, they update regularly enough. A lot of times they'll just add like at the end of the day they kind of mostly did like patch updates, some things that maybe add more content, but for the most part, until I don't want to say recently, but more like in the recent few like maybe years or so, they added newer content and things, and just going from the different versions of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then recently with the new like the caves and cliffs stuff, I mean, oh god, I can't wait for the final part of that update.
Oh my gosh, dude! Axolotls are so awesome, and they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Someone,
They're adorable though.
yeah, no, it I kind of forgot about it too. Like I remember you telling me about it, Brad, and like I sort
Hmm.
of just like let it slip my mind because I was like, it'll come when it comes, and but it probably won't be for a while. And then like when the night the first update was coming out, I forget who. Someone said you guys. I think it was while streaming. Someone was like, "You hyped about the new update?" And I'm like, "New update? Wait, is it coming?" No, it was the new SMP that I'm in. They were talking about because they were asking if the SMP server was going to go down. Was it going to be compatible with the new updates? And they said it would, but it wasn't.
Yeah, the especially if you have like modded scripts or like any kind of assets things, all mods will have to update with the stuff.
yeah, yeah. No, apparently the realm that we were in was it wasn't like working well with it. Like not all of the caves update was in the realm when they checked the code.
Hmm.
Um,
Mm.
which they've been coding on it, so maybe that has to do with it. Maybe like they made it incompatible to the update. But so they had to restart the whole realm and start from scratch. It was kind of annoying, and a lot of people were like pissed because they're like because like they had a lot of alpha players like that were testing it and stuff like that and testing the mods who had built
Yeah.
a lot of their stuff and they were promised that their builds and everything would stay that they were promised that there wasn't going to be a wipe after release and then when release came that's when the update came out and they were like yeah we're gonna have to wipe we're gonna have to.
Yeah.
Like, and the major thing I feel like that really like made it worse was when the update was coming out. They said that they did their homework and they said the only thing that will be an issue is the update doesn't affect already discovered areas. You know, so everybody was like, okay, then we won't discover anything, and pretty much everybody stayed in the same spot where they spawned and built up and not out. Or they dug down. So it made it even worse because they pretty much had more time to work on their homes and less time to like explore and look around and stuff.
Oh
so
man.
so it made it even worse. But yeah, no. Oh yeah, totally. And
That's so
yeah,
unfortunate.
but yeah, no. Nucleus and Caves. What do you guys think about the new? If you have played the Nucleus and Caves, what do you think about their change of the ores? I feel like that's the biggest change to the game that I've seen since the beginning. Like I feel like ores have always been an item,
Mm-hmm.
and they've never changed it. They've added new ores, but they've never like they changed all ores into raw materials. Like now, if you
Yeah.
mine iron instead of getting iron ore, you get raw iron. What do you guys think about that?
I like it. I still like the new textures they added to them. I think they look great.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like I've heard a lot of people say that like they don't care for it. Like they liked how it was before. But I was like, it doesn't change its value. It doesn't really change its stats or anything. It's just a different name and a different icon. But
Mm-hmm.
mhm. They changed a lot gameplay wise when it comes to generating the world. Like caves are more frequent, ores are more frequent. Like you're more if you find an iron vein, it's going to be way bigger than it used to be. I think that they didn't change the gold and diamond relevance yet, like prevalence yet. Like they still spawn the same, but that's just until they like come out with the other stuff apparently. Um,
Yeah.
Caves are a lot more bigger now. Like you're more likely to find caves. There's this new formation that I've noticed where like it's kind of like a tiny ravine, but it's just a hole. Like you'll be digging, you'll find a cave, you'll be venturing through the cave, and eventually you'll come upon like just a pit that reaches all the way down, and it's
Mm.
usually covered by gravel too. So if you venture into that hole wrong, you could cause a cave in, and it will like tear up that whole area. Um, oh yeah, gravel's a lot more prevalent, dude. Freaking a creeper blew up. When I first found one of those, I was in the bottom. I ventured into the bottom of it by just digging uh, down near bedrock, and I was looking for diamond, and I find some diamond now. And I start mining it, and oh, story as old as time. A creeper sneaks up on me out of the blue. It doesn't sneak up on me though. It fell through the hole and landed, and as it landed on me, it blew up. And not only did it kill me near lava and water, but it blew up a lot of gravel, which caused that cave in. So by the time I got back, the whole cave system I was in looked totally different. And the gravel sort of opened up new waterways, so it flooded the area. So even if my stuff might have survived somehow, like not being washed into like lava or something like that, It
Yeah.
it was so unrecognizable that yeah, I couldn't figure out where my stuff was, and it eventually just despawned, or it was never there. It got washed in the lava or something like that. It was so infuriating. I had like netherite stuff. No, I didn't have netherite. I had all diamond stuff. After that, I got netherite stuff, and then I lost that in the nether. So, but mm-hmm.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah, but Minecraft is fun. I've recently been playing Minecraft a lot more. Like I said, I've been in the SMP, and they've been adding a lot of fun mods and stuff.
Mhm.
A lot more than I thought you could do on Bedrock. And the one of the mods, since I've been helping out with some of their builds and stuff like that, and testing their stuff. I was building a dwarven fortress. He freaking built me a massive gate, like a dwarven door, like massive. And he also picked up my mountain and put it in a less frequented area. Like he just picked it up, moved it across the map, put it down somewhere else, and he literally moved a mountain for me and put it down somewhere else. So now it's and now it's in a less frequented area, so I don't have to worry about like people just building around my mountain. It makes it feel
Yeah.
more like a dwarven, fortress. Um, Out in the mountains somewheres. Um, though he put it on top of a forest, so now there's like trees randomly under my mountain. Like I'll be mining, and I'll just open up a pocket area where I'm like, oh, it's a cave, and then I'll see grass and trees, and I'm like, guys, I dug down and I found trees.
The earth is hollow.
And there's witches in there too. Gosh, they spawn there, and now they're stuck down there. And I'm just like, oh, I don't want to deal with these witches. Oh
Yeah,
my
dude,
gosh,
hollow earth.
Hollow Earth. Isn't that the final update? Aren't they gonna do like an Underdark realm or something like that, where it's gonna be like? Didn't you say that, Brad, or did I mishear you?
What?
Aren't they adding like a new realm called the Deep, where it's gonna be like an underground like world or something like that?
Yeah, in the next part of the Cave Cliffs update, they're changing the way that caves generate, and they're changing I think like the sea level spawn point, but also they're adding like an entire like not necessarily like Underdark, but like an entire underground biome that's like
Okay.
dark and it has these reactive flora and like a creature that spawns down there. It's gonna be really dope.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So it's not gonna be. So I shouldn't expect something as big as the Underdark, but it's gonna be like a biome area underground. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
That's
I think
pretty.
it'd be dope.
That's pretty neat. Like biomes underground. Like I don't think that's never happened. Like they've never created like. But when you think about it, there are technically biomes under the Earth's crust. Like different parts of the world have different like things that live underground in different areas. So that's gonna be interesting.
Hi, Dan Platts.
Damplax, hey, welcome to the stream, dude. We are. You can't.
I've been reading the chat as we go.
Yeah, he's been great at that too. Damplax, you. No, not yet.
Yeah, everybody says something negative to you. Yeah.
Who's that? Who's that? Who's that guy with the beard? See, it's funny because we can't see you, so. Um, you take that back. Danplex, you made it to the first episode of our new podcast, The Tavern, where we pretty much talk about everything. Um, and yeah, all things nerd. And yeah, we're currently chilling. So welcome. How have you been? Um, so movies, guys. Have you seen any good movies? I just watched America, the Motion Picture on Netflix, and I just gotta say, you guys gotta check it out. If you haven't heard of it, it is an animated movie based off of the Revolutionary War, and it's so good.
Go on.
It's so good. Okay, so let me just give you a synopsis. So the movie starts off with Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, they're best buds, and they're hanging out at the theater while they're getting ready to watch the Red, White, and Blue Man Group.
Go on.
I mean, you, yeah. You know, Abe Lincoln's like kind of pissed at the at the John Wilkes merchandise booth because they overpriced their T-shirts because of high taxation. No, this is a legit movie. This is a legit movie. It's very mature, so I wouldn't recommend it for children. It does show boobies in it, but I think the major turning point in the intro is when what's his name, Benedict Edwards. Yeah, Benedict Arnold. Benedict Arnold assassinates Abraham Lincoln by turning into a werewolf and biting out Abraham Lincoln's throat in the theater. Dude, it's based off of history.
Lincoln was a vampire hunter.
It's like it literally says when the movie first, like when the title screen first shows, based off of history. You know, so I mean,
right.
But the whole movie is pretty much about George Washington trying to fulfill Abraham Lincoln's wish of freeing the New World from the tyranny of England, of Britain, and to name it America. You know, and obviously, you know, no war is good without the help of friends. So George Washington picks up Sam Adams, famous for making his great beer. Thomas Edison, the world-renowned scientist. She's able to make repulsor gauntlets using electricity. Yeah, she's Chinese. What? You expected Thomas Edison to be a man? That's very sexist.
Didn't expect, and also to leave.
It's very.
Oh my God. I should have took Adderall or something. Holy shit, I missed everything.
Yeah, they were. And like, oh, stupid garbage truck. But yeah, no, and it's very educational. Oh, they also acquire Paul Revere, the best horse racist in the colonies. we we lost Brad. He'll come back though. Yeah, no, yeah. Well, the term actually, he's a racer, okay, horse racer. But there's like a scene where Thomas Edison accuses Sam Adams of being a racist, and he's like, "What? I'm not no racist." Now Paul Revere, he's a racist. He's like, "Yep, best racist in the colonies. I race my horse the fastest out of everyone." And then she's like, "No, that's not. It's not what." Not. But Paul Revere was. You find out that he was raised by horses, so out of everyone, he knows horses the best. And uh, and him and his best friend and brother Clyde, the Clydesdale, help save America. And then they have some other characters come in. Geronimo is a major character in it. He's, you know, he's the colony's greatest tracker, and he primarily has no need of helping them establish America, but literally the deal was George Washington was like, "Hey, I mean, you hate the English, don't you? They took your land." He's like, "Yeah, they took our land." And he's like, "So you're gonna help us, right?" He's like, "Help you win my land back? Are you going to give it to me after you win it?" And he's like, "Of course, all of it. Not sharing it all." Sure. He's like, "Okay." It's good. But yeah, it's a good movie. I'm not going to say any more because I don't want to spoil it, but there's a lot more to it than what I've explained. That's just like a fun teaser. Fun teaser. Hello? Brad?
Hello?
Oh, okay. I thought we lost you again.
There we go. My gosh. Yeah, so what's it called again?
America, the motion picture. It's a Netflix original.
Gotta see it. It sounds. Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
You must wait. It's so good. I kind of I'm wondering if they took inspiration from what's it called? Is it called food? Sausage Party. Sausage Party. Yeah, I feel like I'm wondering if they took inspiration from Sausage Party because it heavily reminded me. I don't know why because it has nothing to do with sausages or parties, but
Right.
but you know, it just for some reason I thought of Sausage Party while watching it. No, not at all. It's actually not similar to it at all. Yeah, I think so. It's just the awkward, weird humor that kind of delves into reality, but not so much. Um, uh, the ending is very chaotic too, kind of like how Sausage Party was. But I also think that they took inspiration from Avengers because there's a lot of Avengers references in it and stuff, and the way that the players like how their backstories are revealed, they're almost like superheroes, you know, less like founding fathers, more like superheroes. Um,
Oh my god, it's real.
yes, you definitely need to. Next session, we can actually talk about how historically accurate it is, and It will be good. Um, have you guys seen any good movies recently? Any new movies?
Yes, good as predictive. I watched the new Conjuring movie.
Oh, is it
Uh,
Scully?
the devil made me do it. It was kind of meh.
It's
Wasn't
kind of nah.
wasn't Yeah, I wasn't super impressed with it.
Hmm.
Was just controversial, honestly.
What's it about? Like, do you want to like give us a synopsis of it? Maybe what you liked and
Yes.
what you didn't like.
Yeah, so it's like it's the same old like, oh, this is based off of the fucking videotapes and journals or whatever of the fucking Ed and Lorraine people, who are the ghosts. Yeah, and um and it's basically like this family has a demon thing haunting them, and like the the kid has it, and like the brother or the dad or some shit's like, no, take me instead, and it does. And they're like, for some reason, everybody forgets about this for several years. um, and then he comes back and he's like murdering people, and then there's like a whole trial, and they're like, but the devil made him do it, and it's like, what? And it's just stupid, honestly.
Gotcha. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Eli,
Probably not. No.
Eli is the man. Hey, welcome to the stream. We are currently talking about The Conjuring and how the new Conjuring movie apparently wasn't good. And if you just popped in, this is the first episode of our new podcast, The Tavern, where we talk about pretty much anything nerdy. Um, but yeah, no. Um, but I've never followed The Conjuring much. I just recently found out that apparently the new, well, not new, but the Annabelle series is apparently
Yeah.
connected to The Conjuring. I never knew that.
Yeah, so the people, like the main, I guess, kind of like overall characters, Ed and Lorraine Warren, they're the ones who have the Annabelle doll locked in like a box because it's a demonic spirit inside, and if you do anything like mock the doll or touch the doll, you'll like get haunted or you'll die or some shit. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, because that
Yeah,
was
they
the
have a whole
original.
museum at their house. Yeah, it's just like a Raggedy Ann doll.
Because Anne
Albeit
is
Raggedy
short
Ann
for
dolls,
Annabelle.
pretty creepy looking, but like, still not as creepy as the one that they made. Hmm.
Um, I've never been very good with horror movies. Like, it's not that I'm scared of them. I just
Yeah,
they're not actually scary to me, so I don't
right.
take any enjoyment from them. There was one I saw not too long ago. This is old news, pretty much for me, but I can't remember what it's called. But it's supposed to be like the deadliest horror movie in history.
Hmm.
Apparently, when it was first made in the 60s or 70s, it was like people were dying from it, from watching it. Like apparently a whole like yeah, like a theater, literally people died in the theater while watching it supposedly. Now how much of that is true I don't know, but just to really push it, in the beginning of the remake of the movie, the digital remake, in the beginning of it, they have like a 20-minute documentary about it, and then they get into the movie. But the movie is about these kids, like this boy, his dog dies, and they put it down at the vet, and on their way home, he's just holding her collar, like moping, and he asks his mom, he's like, "Mommy, I can't remember the name, but he states the name of the dog, but he's like, did she go to heaven?" And the mom, fucking horrible woman, like just goes, "No, she was a bad dog. Bad dogs go to hell." I'm like, why would you say that? Eli's the man said, "I'm terrified of them." I can get with that. I used to be terrified of them until I became desensitized to them. But yeah, no. She like says that, and the sister feels bad about it, and so she sort of brings her brother out into the woods and tells her about this grimoire she found at the bookstore or something like that, or like in like somewhere. I can't remember where she says, but she found a grimoire, and apparently they know a ritual to go to hell and save his dog's soul.
Whoa.
And now I gotta just say, the movie is very good at using what they had. The whole scene takes place in this one place in the woods, and literally their transition through hell is they're just digging a hole. And supposedly, like after they, apparently, when they, as they dig the hole, the deeper the hole goes, the different layers of hell they reach. And it doesn't even go that deep, but like literally they just do a ritual, and as they dig the hole, apparently like hell sort of appears around them, I guess you could say. They stay in the same place, but like they go through the different layers of hell, and they do a really good job of like making you wonder, are they actually going to hell? Are they just playing pretend? Because like they don't really, because there's some stuff that happens that's really creepy, but then it's also like for instance, there's a scene where they're digging and they reach the first layer and they run into an Asian man who cannot speak English, and he's about to kill himself. And obviously they try stopping him, and he just goes off on his own. They're like, you shouldn't do that, and you can't understand them, and he just walks off. And the older sister just takes him away, and you kind of don't know if it looks like he's gonna just kill himself somewhere else. You don't know well. And it looks like that could either be a lost soul in the first layer of hell who died during died in China or something like that, or he could be a crazy Chinese man who's trying to kill himself in the woods.
Maybe it's Thomas Edison, dude.
Like you can't really tell, and then there's another area where they run into a bunch of hillbillies. And the hillbillies are like trying to sacrifice a guy to the devil, and he has like and it's like, but they don't leave the spot. They stay in the same spot, and nothing changes around them. They're still in the woods. It's just the atmosphere changes, and the interactions they have around them changes depending on how deep they dig, and it's really good. Spoiler alert, you don't actually die if you watch it. Apparently people did die when the original movie came out, but the reason why was because in the 60s or 70s, it's like around that time, apparently they explained the science behind it. They just said that people believed like the advertising was stating that they use witchcraft to make it and everything, and that it actually was deadly, and people apparently believed so harshly that it was. It had a lot of like what's it called, where where like they'll have flashes of imagery and everything, but it's so quick that you only see a glimpse of it. So subliminal imagery and
Yeah.
suggestive. Yeah, yeah. They had a lot of that, and it definitely was something that made me even like kind of like freak out a little bit while I was watching it. Um,
Hmm.
and um, like I definitely had to leave the room for a while because of how the imagery was flashing and everything. It was really giving me a
Yeah.
headache and everything. But they said that people saw that suggestive imagery. They saw the symbols that were flat, like satanic symbols would flash on the screen, and pagan uh, symbols would flash on the screen every so often, and like people just believed that it was an actual evil movie, and they would just die from like a heart attack or a seizure just from stress. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was totally placebo, like kind of like um like someone who gets injured. You know, there's a possibility if they believe they could die, they could die of a heart attack just from like fear of dying. Um,
Yeah.
like it did that apparently, and I'm not gonna lie, after I learned the truth at the ending, I felt like an idiot for being so like stressed out from it, but it really did it really did a number. I feel like now that I've told you the truth that you don't aren't gonna die, if you watch it you probably won't have the same experience as me. I can't remember the movie's
Yeah.
name though. um the Serbian film, Cannibals Paradise. Yeah, that's it. Well, he also made the actors go into hiding after the movie came out to
Yeah.
like really push it. So that's kind of on him. But yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. Yes, that is crazy. It was totally an interesting film, and to be honest, it's the first film I've ever watched that actually truly scared me. Like it didn't scare me, like I wasn't scared of it, but it certainly made me feel distressed.
Hmm.
And nothing insane happened. It wasn't gory. I think the most tense moment was when they were dealing with those cultists who were sacrificing people. Other than that, like, and they weren't even like being gory about it. They were just putting people in an oven, and you heard the screams, but you couldn't see anything. It wasn't gory. There was no special effects. It was all just grainy and and good. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I feel like nowadays they get too much into the gore and the special effects and everything, and sometimes just not knowing what you're afraid of is the scariest part.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, that's the yeah. Yeah, that's the eldritch horror thing, the Lovecraftian kind of aspect of some horror things, where like it's not knowing what it is; it's the fact that you don't know, or that you might not be able to comprehend what it is that you can't see. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like for instance, Jeepers Creepers. Um,
Yeah.
the like the second movie where they're on the bus. This most tense moment was where they hadn't shown him yet. He, I mean, like he was just thumping around the bus, and they were just like freaking out. Like that was tense. And then, you know, he showed himself, and
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Jeepers Creepers has really good concept art. I feel like, but you know,
Hmm.
with what they had at the time, it was very silly looking, very
Oh, yeah.
very silly looking.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's actually funny because when I first learned of Jeepers Creepers, I didn't watch it because I wasn't allowed to watch those movies when I was a kid. Um, but the older schools, not the old school, the older schoolboys that I rode the bus with, they told me about it, and that's when I was most scared of Jeepers Creepers. I would have nightmares about it because they just explained the movie synopsis to me. They didn't show it to me. They didn't tell
Yeah.
me what it looked like. They said he was like kind of like a bat creature, but other than that, like they didn't tell me much of what he looked like. They just told me the stuff he did, and they sung the song to me, and I was like, dude, that. And I like, no joke, for a solid month when I was that age, for a solid month, I was afraid to go to the bathroom alone, like public bathrooms, because they told me of like a scene where he like ripped the roof off the bus, and like I was like, I'm not safe anywhere. I don't know why it was the toilet. I think that's only because that's the only time I was ever alone when I was that age, was when I was in the restroom.
Right.
That
Exactly.
is very true. That is very true.
Tim Curry is a terrifying person. Yeah.
He's a very talented and multifaceted actor. He usually plays villains.
Yeah.
He's typecasted as a villain, I feel like, but he's played a lot of good roles, like a lot of interesting roles, especially in musical theater.
Mm. Oh my god, yeah. Oh. Oh.
Oh my gosh, dude. I've never been in a movie theater where they have interactive situations like that. I've heard of that, like. Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Oh. Yeah.
They finally found me.
The clown that fastens a come. They smelled your fear.
Did you guys ever? um, Eli, I'm loving the interactions you're having with us. They're super good. I'm sorry that I'm not replying as much. I'm trying not to interrupt my guests here, but I do see them, and thank you for the emotes. Those are super awesome. Um, have you guys heard about? So, have you noticed how Ronald McDonald isn't a prevalent thing with McDonald's anymore?
That's pretty fucking weird.
Like, did you know? Do you know why that happened? Yeah, not just that, but like he's not even there, really there. He's their mascot, but not very prevalent anymore. They have those new Ike box minion things, and I found out why.
Yeah.
Do you guys know why? Can you guess why?
Oh, dude, did Ronald McDonald come out and stab the Hamburglar in public?
Well,
Kill him.
the major reason why was because of the clown scares that happened a few years ago.
Oh, that's dumb.
They saw that coming. That they saw that on the news, and they instantly adapted to it. It was like, we cannot be a part of this, or even thought to be a part of this. We can't have our mascot like during this time, and they literally just got rid of him overnight, and nobody noticed.
I think it's time for the Ronald McDonald Renaissance. Let's bring him back.
Eli says, I mean, he is on the trash cans at least. I've not seen him on the trash cans, but that's, and I'm assuming some do have like Ronald McDonald trash cans. Yes, because we were scared of him. If you think you're scared of him now because he's a clown, have you guys seen the original Ronald McDonald? Oh my gosh, he wore like a food tray on his head, and he literally had like McDonald's trash as his outfit. Like he made a suit out of McDonald's garbage, and it was so weird and scary looking. He looked like a hobo. Not saying hobos are scary looking. I'm just saying he looked like a scary hobo.
Hey man, OG McD was a dumpster hobo clown that scared everybody.
Oh my god, dude.
He has too much power.
I was just not doing that connection for you. I was like, you're right. You know, after a certain after a certain area, like Pennywise and the other, like sort of just leave you alone. Like if you've reached that state in your life, but like Ronald McDonald, he just slowly kills you throughout your childhood and life until like you can't take it anymore, until you've had your last Big Mac.
Dude, the Hamburglar is the protagonist of the fucking McDonald's cinematic universe.
He's the protagonist. Well, like, have you seen
He's
the?
here to protect us.
Well, have you seen? Have you guys seen the? Did you used to watch the old Ron McDonald TV series? It was like a little cartoon.
Yeah, of course.
Uh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the one that I had.
Ronald McDonald, a lot like Mickey Mouse with the new Mickey Mouse Clubhouse series, is a silent tyrant. Like the whole
Yeah,
world's about him. The whole city, the whole empire is about him, named after him. But yet he just lives there. He
yeah.
doesn't make the rules. He's not their king. They have a king, I'm pretty sure, or a mayor. They have a mayor, Mayor McCheese. Yeah, but it's all about him. Just like Mickey Mouse with the new Mickey Mouse Clubhouse series. Like it's all about him. Like even the money has his face on it, but he just lives there.
Yeah.
He's not the ruler, and
He's
everybody
the
has to play
god who
along.
created the universe and he's living amongst his subjects.
He's truly just a god amongst humanoids, trying to be a part of them,
Exactly.
trying to be one with them.
Yeah.
Eli's the man has a plate with all the characters. Dude, I remember those. You guys remember those? It was like a Happy
Yeah,
Meal
man.
thing. Like I remember, like people pay good money for those plates, like those McDonald's plates and McDonald's cups that you would get as a limited time thing. Like they collect those. They will kill someone for those because apparently like they're
Oh
worth
god.
something.
Yeah.
I could see it on a Florida Man article.
Was it was it Burger King or was it McDonald's that had the shot glasses?
No way. Was that a thing?
I feel like I remember there being like either I feel like it was either McDonald's that had like the shot glasses with the characters on it, or it was just Burger King with like symbols and the Burger King guy on it.
I could see it being Burger King because Burger King used to have a kid. Was it for kids? Because they had a kids mascot at Burger King. It wasn't the Burger
I
King. It
think
was like
so.
it
I
was
think the guy was like the kid.
Burger King. They had a whole list of like mascots for the kids stuff, and they were in the play place and stuff. I remember they had one guy who had like the '90s futuristic visor thing on his face and everything, and he like rode a skateboard. And he's like, "Oh, radical!" It's actually funny because the Burger King. It's actually funny because the Burger King. I don't think he was much of a mascot until recently in the past in the past decade or two. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't think he was very prevalent. They just eventually started making commercials with him, but I don't think he was ever like I don't think he was like Ronald where he was there since the beginning. I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but but
I don't know. I can't remember. Oh, dude, Sneak King. Oh, the Burger King games in general, bro. He's the villain we needed, dude.
he's the villain we needed. Dude, he is the villain in his advertisements. Like he's never portrayed as a good guy. He's always portrayed as like a creepy, silent stalker. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that. I remember there was one commercial I saw where they're like, "He's coming, whether you like it or not," and it shows like Burger King's following people, like following someone, like they lock their door, they're like, and then they look out the window and they see him just standing menacingly outside their window, and they're like, and it was like a new burger, they're like, "He's coming with the meat" or something like that, and it had like a big burger. It was a big new limited time burger advertisement. I'm like, why would you do that? Are you trying to scare your customers?
It's either that or you become Whitney's and bully them into being your servants. So come on.
Eli says, I think the name was wrong with the mascot if we think about it. What, the Burger King? I don't know if he's talking about Burger King because there is a delay, but I'm not understanding that. But yeah, no, like I, I do. Okay, so let's go ahead and like talk about favorite restaurant mascot. Mine personally is Wendy. I
I
freaking
mean,
I freaking simp after Wendy.
hey man, it's pretty good. It's fun, man. But
Oh man,
what
dude.
about that Starbucks though? That fucking chick who just got her legs spread all the way up to her head.
Oh my god. Is there legs? I thought that was like a tail, like she was a mermaid or something like that.
She's a mermaid. Yeah, those are her legs, bro.
Dude,
It's a
I
mermaid leg, dude.
I've never gotten that logo till this day. Like I'm just like, why? Why? I,
It's a weird one.
she's like a goddess or something. I'm pretty sure, isn't she? Um, like a Mesopotamian goddess or something like that. Yeah. Eli says yes. You never had
She's just a
Starbucks?
mermaid. It's called the Siren.
I've never had Starbucks, nor will I. I am not a teenage white girl.
I think I had one.
Their coffee's too expensive. I feel like. Like, isn't that a major
Oh,
thing
it's
with
way too
them?
expensive.
It's
Yeah.
super expensive, and like some I've heard. I don't know if there's a rumor, so don't quote me on it. But I heard something about like how some Starbucks will charge you to enter because people used to just go there for their internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, McDonald's never done that to me. I used to do that to them all the time, and they just didn't give a fuck. Burger King too. Yeah, Taco Bell it was almost like that too, man. Taco Bell wanted us gone, man. Like they did not like us. Like okay, so I had this whole like thing with Taco Bell because like when we first started doing D&D at Taco Bell, there was a um there was a uh there was a manager there, the two managers there, the general manager and the assistant manager, and they loved the crap out of me. I knew it because they gave me free food all the freaking time. They were awesome, and I asked them personally. I was like, "We want to start playing D&D here because we're not able to do it where we used to." And he was like, "Oh heck yeah, I love D&D. Maybe if I get some time off, I can play with you guys." I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'm up for that." And they were totally up for it. And we were playing and we were having a good time. And then the GM got moved up to like district, and then the assistant manager later got fired, or he quit. I think he quit. He like just hung up his hat and left. But
Mhm.
but the new manager came in and he was way more official and everything because like he came from like corporate because I guess they couldn't hire anybody to do management. Um, and after that, that's when everything started going down because like not only him but Kiki and a lot of the others were like, "You're scaring our customers away," and I'm like, "Man, I think you need to get new customers." Oh my gosh, yeah, they would like yell racial slurs or like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
not
Yeah.
gonna name names, but yeah, I remember like there one of them. We all know who I'm talking about probably. Like when I explain this, yeah, yeah, but he he like kept being too loud. He kept getting too excited. I was like, dude, for real, they're about to kick us out. I have nowhere else to run this. So if we don't keep it down, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. And he kept going on, and I finally was like, one more and you're out. And he stopped. He stopped after that. He was like he calmed down, but like, ah man, dude, it it was, oh my gosh, man.
Yeah.
They were just trying to find any they couldn't, because I remember they were trying to get rid of us, and I talked to James. Chat knows James, so I can name drop him. I talked to James about it, and he actually called corporate and said, as long as we're buying food, they should not be getting mad at us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as long as we're buying food every hour. Yeah. Oh man, dude. I was giving out DL. Hey man, DLC is important. DLC is important. Like chat, if you don't know, I run D&D with these guys. I've run it with them forever now, and I had a major rule with DLC. If you bought me food, I give you a magic item or give you a wish or like, you know, let you like decide what happens at that moment. You know, like I was very easily bribable. You know, and uh, I still am. The only reason I don't do them anymore is because it's all online. If I had a home game, I would be the same. Now you gotta buy V-Bucks. Buy me V-Bucks, and I will give you that magic item.
Mom. What's the guy who he does the was it Fiverr where he dresses up in like a suit and looks real nice and he goes like, all you gotta do is give me the numbers on the front of your credit card number, the the three numbers on the back, the last four of your social. That like that guy. What the hell is his name? Oh God, I can't remember.
I'm
It's just like people pay him to like make a little video that it's like pertaining to whatever they get it, but like it's always like, give me your credit card number, the three numbers on the back, like the fucking expiration date and everything. It's like a meme on scam artists.
That's funny.
Ah.
Fiverr's an interesting place. I'm not gonna lie. I've heard that they pretty much have someone for everything there. Um,
Oh yeah.
like they even have a Jesus Christ, who was like a guy who would like like send miracle postcards or whatever, like digital ones. You'd like you'd be like, hey, Jesus, like bless my aunt for her birthday, and he'd be like, Aunt Gracia, uh, I bless you today on your birthday. The day I created you was the greatest day of my life, or some shit like that, and you would get paid for it until he got kicked off Fiverr because of PewDiePie.
Oh yeah, PewDiePie.
Yep.
The man, the myth, the legend.
The man, the myth, the legend, indeed. Okay, so literally PewDiePie, ever since he like so PewDiePie, there was a while where like the the media on the internet, so they sort of like had it out for him because he was so close to becoming like he was a celebrity, but he wasn't a celebrity in Hollywood. He wasn't controlled by Hollywood, you know, all that stuff. And so because of that, like him and a lot of other YouTubers, but he was the primary one, being the head of YouTube, that he was the face of YouTube, if you will. They all were bringing in this new age of like entertainment for the younger audiences and the newer generation that was sort of putting TV down, and so a lot of the media, which was a part of this, like was making an example out of him. They would make all kinds of shitty like articles about him, saying how he's a Nazi and all this stuff. Like total fucking lies. Like like they would just like take one screenshot out of context and then be like, "This just in: PewDiePie kills babies." You know, like it was literally like what are those magazines called? The ones that where they like would say like yeah, it was like tabloids
The
where they
Washington Post.
like yeah, totally. Washington Post was one of them. They were the number one that was going against PewDiePie, and like they were like making a name for him, and uh, one of the major things that he did was, as a joke, he was reviewing Fiverr, and he did a video with Jesus Christ where he paid Jesus Christ. He didn't know him. He just paid him to say whatever he wanted, and I think he said subscribe to Keemstar, stuff like that, you know. But then he also found this other Fiverr uh, account where it was like these. I don't know what country they're from, but they were very like maybe
Skirt
from
around it, buddy.
maybe from India or Indonesia or something like that. Like very foreign, and but they literally they would get in grass skirts, go out in the middle of the like jungle or something like that, hold up a sign of whatever you wanted, and they would say whatever you wanted, and you just had to pay them $5, and they would do it. And he had them go, and he made them go,
Kill all the Jews.
kill all the Jews. He made them say that,
I think it was.
and he had them put up subscribe to Keemstar on their sign or something like that, and it was all a meme, you know, and obviously, but it was before a lot of people were doing edgy memes like that. I personally believe that there's no limit to humor. You can joke about anything. Um, but that's just me. Censorship is wrong. Um, but he said that, and the Washington Post used that as ammunition. Fiverr apparently got a hold of this. Everybody got a hold of this, and PewDiePie got in a lot of trouble. Those boys got banned off of Fiverr and got in a lot of trouble. And Jesus Christ and everybody else who was in PewDiePie's video, whether they did anything wrong or not, if they were in PewDiePie's video, they got banned off of all their social media and everything.
Wow.
And Jesus Christ was one of them. I remember he got banned off of Fiverr, and he later got his account back, but he just switched to YouTube, and like he's doing way better now, making the big bucks.
Go.
But yeah, no, I remember that, dude. That's like pretty much ancient history now, but I remember when that was new and that was going down. And then he said the N word later, and there was no helping him after that.
You said a pro gamer word, dude.
Is that what you mean by a pro gamer word?
You'll never know what I'm gonna say.
Don't you dare! Not on my stream. Not on my stream.
Or when else?
Well, he's been saying either get a win or I'll say a pro gamer word. And I'm sitting here like, what does he mean by pro gamer word? And then later, like last night when I told him I didn't get a win, he was like, I'm going to say pro gamer word sometime on stream now. I'm like, what does he mean by that? Am I supposed to know what that means? And then he just said, that's pro gamer word right there. I'm like, that's a pro gamer word? You better not. You better not.
Oh, man.
No,
Out
like
of nowhere you'll never see it coming, and neither will your TOS.
oh my gosh, is it TOS? They need to make an app called Is It TOS, and it's literally just an app that you can put on your streaming devices or anything like that. That will literally just like shut your stream off if it senses anything TOS unfriendly, so that you don't have to worry about it.
Gotta be on your toes.
Um. Gosh.
So, did you guys hear that? Who is it? Ernie Gygax is restarting up TSR again.
Isn't that Guy Gex's son?
Yeah, it's like his oldest one.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the one that's like really like he started Gary Con and all that stuff. Um, yeah, no, he started up TSR. I didn't hear about that, but I've heard something like that, like something about TSR, but not that. That's really cool. TSJ, if you don't know what TSR is, TSR was the original company that Gary Gygax made when he made D&D. TSR was the original publishing company for D&D before Wizards bought it.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's starting up TSR,
Yeah,
he's probably going to be making not D&D stuff. Probably, I mean, he might make some homebrew stuff, but he's probably going to be making a lot of like tabletop RPG stuff, probably with Wizards' help, because he's in talks with them all the time.
He's making a new TTRPG called Giant Land.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Dying
Tabletop
Land?
role playing game he's making. It's called Giant Lands. Yeah, it's going to be. It's possible that it's also going to include a theme park where like you can act like LARP.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
That's what we need.
Hopefully, going to be dope as hell.
That's what we need is a D&D theme park or a TTRPG theme park. That's cool.
Yeah.
I do know that there's like a meme going around because apparently a news article said that the new Dungeons and Dragons movie is going to revitalize the famed game Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, but they were saying like it will see its second wave of popularity because of this movie or something like that. And like there's a meme where it says that, and then it shows like Matt Mercer and all these other famous D&D characters being like, "Am I a joke to you?" Am I a joke
Also,
to you?
like, I don't know if this is true or not, but like, I've not seen it. I don't think Joe Manganiello, the biggest fucking D&D guy in Hollywood, isn't going to be part of it.
He was wanting to be, but I don't think from what I've read, it's jumped a lot of directors. He was going to originally direct it, but it's jumped a lot of directors. Like, I'm assuming he couldn't do it. Maybe his schedule was full. I don't know.
Maybe.
I've not really seen him do
just thought that
anything
was
except for going to interviews on Stephen Colbert and talk about D&D. So,
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be a part of it. There was also talks about the creator, not the creator, but the director, John, what's his name, Gunn, the guy who did the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Gunn.
Yeah, apparently he was going to do it. Like, it's been hopping around a lot.
Uh-huh.
So that meme has me kind of like weirded out because I'm like, so is it going to be a thing? Are they going to have someone working on it? Because like so far it's just been like, it's coming. Maybe if we can be consistent.
It's coming out.
Yeah. Apparently apparently they stated when James Gunn was going to do it, it was going to have a similar sense of humor as Guardians of the Galaxy. That was the plan. That's why they were. Yeah, like they were saying how it was going to be a serious action, but also be humorous, sort of play off the same analog as Guardians, which I could see that being very good. Um,
Yeah.
you can't. To
Yeah,
be
that'd
on,
be great. I love it.
to be honest, I feel like that's the best way that they could actually do a good D&D movie is if if they have a prevalent system that obviously shows it's a bunch of kids playing a tabletop game or a bunch of
Yeah.
people playing a tabletop. I think that if they did, I know that one movie series that did a really good job was Dorkness Rising. If you guys haven't seen it, it's a
Uh-huh.
indie movie that was made on YouTube and it's got like a cult following and everything. Um, but Darkness Rising, which is a D&D independent D&D movie, but like the whole premise is half the movie is like done in modern day and they're just players, but the other half of the movie is in fantasy, and literally it's just like they'll be like, I want to seduce the giant. He's like, roll for it, and then they'll roll, and then it shows the person actually doing it in the scene. Like, and like, it's the whole movie's narrated by the players, pretty much. You know, like, and sometimes it'll get interrupted by them talking at the table and stuff like that. But like, I remember one of the most memorable parts was the bard keeps dying in the movie. That's one of the ongoing jokes is he dies. He never levels up. He just keeps dying. And there's one scene in the movie where because he comes in the next day after dying, he keeps having to make new characters. So after the first session, the next session he comes in, he dies, and they're like, you died, roll up a new character, and he just pulls one out of his bag, puts a character sheet out of his bag, puts it down, goes, I prepared. Apparently it's like a bunch of character sheets pre-made, and literally there's a scene where it's all bards, it's all the same character, just different names, and like he shows up and he's like and he like freaking dies 50 times in this giant battle, and they're just like, how are we supposed to do this? And the main evil sorcerer, he's about to cast this like power word kill spell that's gonna end them all. Like, how do we defend against this? And the main character goes, quick, build a wall from all the bard corpses. and he literally just take all of his characters and stack a wall up. there's literally a scene where like in the main battle he keeps dying, and he's like it just shows a montage of him dying and him slapping a new character down. He's like, I attack, and then he's like, you die, and he slaps another one. I cast vicious mockery. But yeah, that was the main thing, like joke was at the end. They're like they're like quickly, what do we do? And he's like, build a wall of all the dead bards. And everyone's like, by God, he's a genius. There's another joke where when they're first introducing the characters, everybody comes in as their characters. It's very like Eastern European like themed RPG, very like tights and everything. And when the jerk of the group, I guess you could say, the one that tries to get away with everything, he shows up and everybody's like introducing their characters, and it shows them in costume, like in the actual like fantasy world, and like they're like, you know, the honorable archer, so and so, and she walks away, and then finally one of the guys comes up, but it's a girl wearing his clothes, and they're like, Miss Tatiana, and he's like, I would play a girl this time, like, okay, and she's voice acted by him. Like, it's funny because like it's a girl wearing his clothes, but whenever she talks, he voice acts for her. And then the jerk of the group comes in dressed up as a Tibetan monk, an elf Tibetan monk, and he's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "I'm an elven monk." And he's like, "I told you, Eastern fantasy only. That means you're not a Tibetan monk, you're a friar monk, and you're gonna have the bowl cut." And he's like, "No," and he's like, "There's no elves either," and he pulls his ears off, like in the fantasy world, just pulls his ears off. Very comical, and I've always said, like, if they ever do a D&D movie, they need to do something like that, like a movie that it did have serious moments in it, but like it literally a movie that's not afraid to not take itself seriously, like make jokes about itself, you know. Obviously make jokes about how it's a tabletop RPG. I could see them doing a serious action movie where it just takes place in the lore, like. Lord forbid, if they did a Dritz movie, I could see them doing that. And I could see them being successful with that, but I do think it would be more successful if they just did like a D&D movie for the fans about playing the game. I could see that.
Yeah. I would almost think that like doing it kind of like Goblin Slayer style, where they don't actually have names, they just call them by like their class, would work as well.
Yeah, I could see that. Rogue. Goblin Slayer actually is based off D&D, isn't it? Like don't they have like a dice rolling mechanism? Like
Feels like it is, yeah.
Yeah, like the intro actually shows dice rolling, and a lot of times whenever they do like a special action, it actually has a dice rolling sound effect behind it. The way that the dwarf in Goblin Slayer, might I just say, I like how they did the dwarf in Goblin Slayer and how his magic works. I really like how they do magic in that anime. Like how each race has their own version of magic. Instead of their class having their own version of magic, their race does. Like the reptilian, where he like throws the bones down and he's like, "Dragon's ancestors, give me your," you know, and like all of a sudden like skeletal lizard folk like just pop out of the ground. I'm like, oh, that's so cool, man. That's so cool.
I like that. I like that it's Vancian magic too. It's not just like regular, oh, we can do magic all the time. It's like the actual like what people usually use.
Yeah, yeah. Like yeah, like how they like they even like reference like how many heals do you have? Kind of like old D&D where they're like, how many fireballs do you have? Because like, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know, back in the day you didn't have spell slots. You could just cast fireball a number of times, or magic missile a number of times, and you know, if you use them all, you're done. Wizard was literally wizard was the greatest dagger user other than the rogue, because that's all he had until the boss battle.
Exactly.
Like, dude, that takes me back, man. Like, that was D&D. Like I remember like watching a podcast with D&D where they were like they were like going through this dungeon and they were getting overrun, and they're like, "Wizard, can't you like shoot fire or something?" Like, he's like, "I have fireball. Use it. If I use it, that's it." Like, I would rather use it on the evil wizard at the end. Like using it now is gonna suck. And like, literally, he was the most useless person in the group because like he just had a dagger and he was really smart. But
once you hit that boss, though, bam.
Oh my gosh, dude, game over. To be honest, that was a major goal for DMs back in the day too. Like the first thing you had, like it was like a checklist. The the first thing was the second thing. What was corrupt the cleric or the paladin. Try to find a way to like make him lose his alignment. But the first thing was make the wizard burn through his spells. If you can make the wizard burn through his spells, then he'll be useless to them later.
Yeah.
That and then change the alignment of the cleric or the paladin because then they'd be useless too, and then everyone would be doomed. So you lose your temper and kill the goblin. Yes, that sounds less like justice and more like vengeful accuracy. I believe that might make you neutral. No. Maybe even evil. No. that was I remember that. Yeah, that was during the Christmas special that we had. That was before I was confident in my DMing skills. Now I'm to the point to where I can do rifles and stuff. I remember that I had a lot of broken promises back in those days. I feel bad about them now, but that's just what happens when you're a newer DM. You make a lot of promises you don't carry out, because you don't know what you can handle, but you don't want to tell anyone no. You're never gonna let that go. That's not canon.
It was perfect.
Don't repeat it.
There was one time that I got to be magic, and I saved Ogren, the character, not the person. I defeated the null demon god thing, whatever he was.
Oh my Yinagu, the Great Defiler.
Inagu. Yeah, dude, I beat him, saved Ogren, became magic.
Golly. Well, the thing, I remember everybody got mad about that. The thing is about that was I gave you exactly what you were supposed to get. Like it was. Yeah. Freaking Stan. Uh he you know who I'm talking about. Stan, he hated Ogren for that. Till this day, he hates Ogren for that.
Wow.
He carries a grudge for that because he stole the boss kill and took the. But the thing is you guys did all that. I just spun it that way cinematically because that's what Ogren would do. But you guys got the experience. He didn't even get anything out of that because he was just an NPC. But after that, I stopped making Ogren so prevalent after that because I realized that I was taking the limelight from the players. But I just I don't know. There comes a time when a DM is transitioning between player to DM where they want to bring their characters in and play them with you guys, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Dude, I
Ron's hero.
Ront freaking lives. Ront lives in us all, dude. I freaking remember Ront, dude. I till this day I tell stories about Ront. Like Ront was I even talk about Ront with my newer group that I play with online. Like Ront was just he was a character that you would not let me kill. Golly, dude, I've had players do that, and it's the most awkward situation ever. Like, I make it work, but like, there was one time I brought in like they were trying to recruit guards for this big battle against a demon lord, and Gratz was the demon lord. I'm pretty sure the demon lord of lust and dark desires, and I remember they rolled like a 2 or 3 on their streetwise check to like check and see if they could recruit people, and he brought back like some guards that kind of knew what they were doing and a blind man, and everybody believed the blind man was secretly like fucking Oogway or some shit like that. He was just a blind, a homeless man, but they're like this man he's the real hero. And they would not let him die. They would not let him die, and they forced me to make him a companion. And I had to put levels into him. And so later I turned him in. Like, he became a ranger later. And they had fun with that, but. He was so bad. I gave him blind sense, though. It later became a fun character, but, like he literally was just blind and he couldn't fight anything, and they were just like, he's gonna be the hero. And then he got critical 20 on a character one time, and they were sold. They're like, this man, we will tell stories of him one day. I'm like, why?
This man.
You guys did that with the Ront. Like literally, he was just supposed to die. If you guys don't know, Ront was an NPC in one of the modules that I ran these guys through out of the Abyss, and like they got a lot of companions in this one in the beginning of this one, but like they had so many that the module even suggested, hey, maybe even try killing some of them off just to, show the players that they're cannon fodder pretty much. That anything could happen. Anybody could die in this scenario, which, I don't think it sells it that much because I'm only killing NPCs, not players. But
Yeah.
it's easy for a DM to kill off an NPC, not so much for a player. But all the characters had these amazing backstories and like connections to the later campaign story, like certain characters they're connected to and certain ways that they can help the group. But Ront was just a bully. That's all he was. Like he was, like they said, he was just a thug, a bully. He has no connections to anybody. Heck, he could probably even die early on. Um, they said but he will not get in the player's way of their quest. He'll just sort of taunt them and give them issues. But if the players ever make him a friend, he'll be loyal to the end. You could even have him. You could. They suggested he could even like sacrifice himself for the group. So he like they kept him through the whole thing, and I was like, and there was a scenario where they could have died, and I was just like, I made it a rule that if there was ever a chance that players were going to die, Ront was just going to like take the bullet. That's how I was going to have it, and like they were going to die from this giant pudding, and they were like, "Oh, we got to get out of here!" And Ront just pushes them out of the way and goes, "Ront will be hero now." And you guys went back in after him. Majorly Jay majorly went back in after him. This was you found the flask, and you found the flask. I think you found the flask in there, and you just used it on it, like coincidentally. You found it. We are currently talking about the legendary Ront, a character, an NPC in my D&D tabletop game that I've been running, that I ran with my friends forever ago. We are talking about Ront. He's an NPC who had no matter to the story. He wasn't important at all. He was just supposed to die, and the players wouldn't let him die, and they eventually made him the hero of the story. Like, before you knew it, I gave him a class, and he was literally the one making the death blows on the bosses you guys were fighting, and you were okay with it. You were like, go, hooray! Ront is hero, and he's just like, Ront is hero. And I'm like, that's how you make NPCs steal the show. That's how you make NPCs steal the show. You don't make your character. You don't bring your characters in as almighty gods and then make them steal a show. You make the players fall in love with the characters, and then they no longer want to be the heroes. They're okay with losing the show.
Yeah.
No. He was a bone knight, and he was a bone knight, and he just like through the miasma of the Underdark, he just mutated and gained the ability to magically control his bones, like enlarge them or like shrink them down, and it might have been because of a fungus. I can't remember, but it wasn't a fungus that made him regrow his arm. He just he was able to grow a bone spike out of his nub. What was that? We lost him. Oh man! Real quick from the chat, has anybody in chat played D&D? Have you heard of D&D? But yeah, no. D&D is just a fun game. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. It was back when we were played. I think it was after you were in high school, but it was while I was in senior year. I'm pretty sure. Eli's the man said no. I'm a noob. Eli, D&D is just an RPG game where you use your imagination. It's the first RPG ever made, to be honest. Um, the first idea of like a role playing game before they made it into video games and stuff. But it's super fun. We're actually gonna be. I'm gonna be doing a D&D. Like I'm gonna be live streaming D&D at some point, so you'll be able to see that firsthand. Um, but yeah, no, it was when we were playing with. Did I name drop him by accident? I didn't mean to. It was back when we were. Okay, it was back when we were playing with Jane, and um, we we used to that was when we used to play and everything. And I remember like back then it was like there wasn't even like these big prolonged stories. It was literally just like Saturday morning cartoons where every session was a different adventure and they didn't connect at all with each other. Oh, I remember that. I think we were all trying to steal. I think I was trying to steal it. You guys were trying to ring it. I think. And 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 yeah, and everybody rang it, and and then Jane was like, "Okay, so this is a giant door, and you guys literally just rung the doorbell." Oh, we thought it was a puzzle, like it was like sound operated, like ringing the gong would like open the doors. The door's open. You may enter if you'd like. I'm like, I'm taking the gong with me. Oh my gosh, dude. I miss Cheeto. We were in a chase. We were in a chase. I remember we were in a wagon and literally like one of us was just like driving the horse like high speed chase while everybody else is like heal drink this potion heal on just my owl. Cheat. It's because Jane kept trying to kill my owl. Like, and I was just like I wasn't using him for anything but just perception checks. That's all. Like I wasn't using him to fight. To be honest, he stayed away from most fights. I mean, later I started using him in fights. Like I'd make him fly in front of my enemies to distract them, to give me advantage. So later he was an issue. But at the moment he wasn't though. He was just used for perception checks. And he kept trying to kill him and I was like, oh my gosh, dude. And like half the party was like, let's let it die, while the other half was like, no, let's let it live. And like even the people who were like, let's let it die, were still helping because but they were just waiting for the moment when we'd give up, and we didn't. I think we eventually did. Oh, I remember he got bit by a trouser snake. Remember that? It was a trouser snake. Brad, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, I was
Yeah,
getting some information.
I knew we lost you a second ago. So, but I saw you rejoin, so I was like making sure
Yeah, I
that.
gotta.
But yeah, no, that trouser.
Huh? Yeah, I had a phone call. I'm,
Oh, I get that. I get that. Yeah, we're
yeah.
no.
No, it's random.
Not just that. It'd be kind of hard for work to say that when work is his dad. So.
Actually, look, it's me. I own the company now.
Oh, really? Does your dad not? I thought your dad was partnered with you though. Like, does he not do it anymore?
He's the brains of the operation.
Yeah, okay. Heck
What's
yeah,
the
dude.
grunt force?
Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, no.
Um,
Oh. Yeah, no. Like Jane made everything oddly sexual. Even now, like last time I saw one of his like more recent sessions, he makes everything very sexual, and I'm just like, this is getting old. This is getting old. Mm-hmm. Curse Strode. Ew, Curse Strode. It's like a French Curse Strode. Curse Strode. Ooh la la. Um. Mm.
yeah, of course that's wow.
Oh, ho, ho. don't don't do it. You're trash. You're trash, and everything you believe in is trash. Oh, how dare you? How dare you? City Miss is pretty fun. Um, City Miss is pretty fun.
Um,
Um, do you guys plan on running a City of Mist game at all? Either of you?
uh, hopefully, quick before we go into the topic, I apologize. I gotta go.
You gotta go.
Yeah, it's not actually work related this time. It's more of a person needing assistance.
Yes, no, I get you, man. That's fine. We can carry on without you.
Uh, Hope you guys have a good rest of the podcast. Thank you, chat, for joining us for the little time that I was here.
Hell
Oh
yeah,
gosh,
man. Yeah.
I will talk to you later. Tell me how it goes. I can watch the VOD one. Just tell me how it goes. Yeah.
Heck yeah. See you later.
See ya.
All right, now that he's gone, let's talk shit about him. Oh my god. Try to kill. He did. He did. That was a prevalent thing. Your child goblin. Child. Eli's the man said bye. That Brad. Always dying and dude, I'm his Brad in D&D. I feel like every game I'm dying, and I'm just like, I mean, to be honest, it's my fault because I take a lot of risks. Like the fact that I'm pretty much soloing the game right now while you guys are doing. Yeah, but I mean, I didn't leave you a good trail to follow. Oh, careful! Careful. Cthulhu lives under that bridge. Just letting you know. Shit. I don't think I used any fire spells in that whole fight. So, hey man, hey man, it's cool. I'm cool with that. To be honest, I feel like by the time you guys are gonna get there, I'm gonna be done with what I'm doing. I could be wrong though. No. I almost died when that freaking thing shot death laser at me. I was like, what? He's like, oh yeah, no, I just cast Finger of Death at you. Finger of Death, you idiot! Oh my god! Finger of Death, god. I keep getting Finger of Death and Power Word Kill mixed up. I remember I felt like such a badass when I was playing against my other group. And I'm like, he quickly points his finger at you and says, Finger of Death. And everybody's like, Finger of Death! And I'm like, yes. And then I realized, I'm like, that's a 6th level spell? Oh, Power Word kills the other one. Okay, yeah. No, you guys are going to be fine. And then I told him, I was like, to be honest, I thought I was casting Power Word Kill at you guys. They're like, what? I thought I was. I wasn't. You knew what I meant. I knew what I meant. The point is, it's not what I meant. See what I mean? Know what I say? Yeah. Yeah, no. Mm-hmm. I was actually just I was actually just thinking Metal Gear Solid would probably do really good in City of Mist, I feel like. Because isn't that more of a story game anyways? Big Tatas. all all I know is all I know is every boss I've seen in the game is either a mech or a chick with big tatas. Yeah. Or Solidus. That's his name, right? The evil snake. Yeah. The one. Oh my gosh! No, let's not. But that's it, isn't it? Isn't doesn't Big Boss later become the evil Snake in Metal Gear 4? Wait, it's not really Snake? This whole time I thought it was. He had the robot arm and everything. No, like Liquid Snake. That's it. Isn't Liquid Snake Evil Snake? It, he's a clone of Big Boss, isn't he? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Are you talking to some? Eli says, "Are you talking to someone in PlayStation Party?" Yes, I'm using PlayStation Party for this podcast. Why do you ask, Eli? It, yeah, is it crap audio? Is that what you're saying? Um, very convoluted. Yes. I remember there's a song made by Ego Raptor where they're supposed to be like they're doing a talk show where they're talking about uh, simple plots with simple video game characters or whatever, and like they have sequels with it. It's like a whole series, but like the first one was literally about Snake comes in, and they're like oh Mario, oh I break blocks, and he's like oh Donkey Kong, I capture Princess, and you have to climb to stop me. You know, it's like different stuff like that. Hubert, and he's just okay. You know, and then they're like, and our next guest, Snake, and he's like, back in 2001, and he just does a rap where he's like talking about his complex plot about like cyborgs and the Cold War and all that stuff. And he's just like, hey, listen, Mr. Snake, this talk show is just about like simple plots. Can't you like sum it up? And he just goes on like talking about this complex plot. He's like, okay, you need to leave. And he's like, but wait, first I gotta tell you about my girlfriend who's also a spy, who's also my sister, or some shit like that. Like, it's like it's just talking about like all this like. Oh wow. Hmm. What about me? Sadly not. Metal Gear Solid is just not my cup of tea. Um, to be honest, it's just the fact that I'm not good at stealth games. I don't enjoy them. I should, because I love stealth in games. But when that's the main priority of the game, I'm just kind of trash at it. Oh my gosh. Jay, check your party settings and make sure that you can share your voice in audio. They can't hear you. Have I been talking to myself this whole stream? Because I don't know if Brad did that either. Check your audio settings and make sure that you can like there's a setting to share your voice in broadcasts.
Hey, how's it going? Can people hear me?
Can you hear him, Eli? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Guys.
Are you dying a little inside?
I'm dying so hard inside because this whole time I think I've been talking to myself this whole time. Okay, he can hear you now. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, I stabbed myself in the chest out of frustration and embarrassment. There was a lot of people watching at some time too. Oh my gosh.
Well then.
Oh my gosh.
Well, now that you can hear me, this is G Man. How's it going?
I'm dying of embarrassment.
Ooh.
change the subject
It
because of
happens. It
my
happens, pal.
embarrassment.
It happens, pal.
Um, so G Man, have you?
Possibly.
Eli says, "Good. How are you, G Man?" And he spelled it right.
All right. Um, I'm good. I'm good. Can't complain. I'm still alive, so I guess can't ask for too much more.
Jay, have you seen G Man? Have you seen? Have you seen? It's still not your real name, so we're good, I guess.
Continue.
Um,
Continue.
have you seen the TLC shows that have been like they've been gaining a lot of popularity because meme culture has been taking over and everything. Have you seen any of those?
TLC shows.
Yeah, the TLC reality shows like My 800-Pound Life or
Oh,
Weird
I'm gonna be
Addictions.
honest, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. I do not watch those.
I don't either, but they've recently been gaining a lot of popularity. And there's I was watching one about this girl who married her zombie doll.
I mean, more power to you if that's your thing.
She has like a voodoo looking zombie doll. It's apparently part of a horror collector series. Something that
Yeah.
would Vatasha would would have collected probably, I believe. But um she like had this one when she was like a little girl, and she like fell
Yeah.
in love with it and carried it around everywhere, and now that she's an adult she married it.
I mean,
It
as
looks
I said, I mean,
terrifying.
more power to you if that's your thing. If that's your thing, more power to you.
And she's like, no, I don't have a thing for zombies, and no, I don't have a thing for kids because it's like child size. Um,
Oh,
yeah, and she's like, no, I don't have a thing for zombies, and no, I don't have a thing for kids. You know, I just married this doll, and I'm like, it's a zombie doll. You married it. You usually marry something because you're in love with it. So do you have a thing for zombies? It's I was watching them talk about it. It was PewDiePie. He was watching it and talking about it, and he was like, you know, it's kind of like if I said I married my girlfriend, but I don't actually like girls. Like, I don't know. It was interesting though.
yeah,
They have a few of
yeah.
those.
I I think, what was it, forever ago, I watched that My Strange Addiction, and it was one where, was it like that, was it that, was it somebody was eating like those plastic cocktail things?
Oh
And for
yeah,
some reason they were just like addicted to eating the little plastic cocktail swords or whatever.
yeah.
And I just, I don't know. I don't, not really a big fan. I don't really watch, I don't really watch a lot of stuff like that. I mean, hell, I've been recently I've been watching Star Trek, and I mean like the original Star
Oh,
Trek.
have you? Tell me about it, man. Have you been watching it, like
Um,
binging it, or just watching it whenever it comes on? Or
no, no, I haven't been binging it, but since I don't, I have I'm not sure what it is. I know my uncle brought it over. He set it up, and I watched TV with it. But every day at like I don't know. It's later in the day, but every day, it goes through is Star Trek: The Next Generation comes on after that. I think it's Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and then Star Trek Enterprise, which is the one that come out like I don't know, like the '90s or early 2000s.
yeah, put Picard in it.
I don't really watch that. I really don't. I really don't watch that one though.
Yeah,
But
a lot of people don't.
I watch the yeah, I watched the original one. I watched the Next Generation, and I'm indifferent to Deep Space Nine. I like Voyager.
Wait, no, Next Generation's with Picard in it, not Voyager.
Yeah, that's the one
not
with
the other one.
Picard and Worf.
They have a new one
Yeah.
called Picard, where it's like a time traveling themed one, where like Picard's old now, but like he's like going through time in the Star Trek universe or something like that. It's really weird. The trailers don't give much on it. They just, but the one thing they did show is they bring back a lot of actors from the original series, and like they bring them back for like an episode or something like that. So it's like a for the fans series, but it's on Paramount Plus. It's on Paramount Plus, and you know, nobody cares about Paramount Plus. Because
I haven't really watched anything about it. Like I did see that it was in fact a thing that was happening, but I haven't looked into it. I haven't really. I don't know. I've just been sitting here with my old ones with William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. I'm being an old man.
William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. William Shatner thinks he's God's gift to man, and it's so... I don't know how I feel about it.
Mr. Spock, please tell us, what is this alien life form?
Dude, do you remember the movie Space Quest, I think it's called?
Space Quest. Who was in it?
Tim.
Oh no, it's Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy
I know which
Quest.
one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have that on VHS. I hope I'm not dating myself with that, but I have that on VHS.
So James, just knowing that I'm streaming right now, rudely messaged me going, "Why aren't I on the podcast?" I put, "Maybe someday." He's like, "Yeah, exactly. You suck."
Damn.
Someday, you I know you're watching. I know you're watching, James. Someday you will be on the podcast, but not today.
Oh man. So Galaxy Quest. To change things up a little bit. And you probably know this because it's kind of my current obsession at the moment. Mass Effect.
Let's talk about Mass Effect. Elias the man said,
Mass
"Wow."
Effect.
Wow
about what?
I don't know what he said wow about. Maybe the fact that you dated yourself by saying that you
I have that on VHS. Back in my day, we had VHSs, and the only game cell phones had was Tetris.
Dude, okay, so there's this meme I saw, and it makes so much sense, and it made me, and it even made my family crack up, and they never crack up at my memes. But it's, sorry if this interrupts you, but I just, when you said back in my day.
It's cool, go for it.
It said that in the, I want to say in the 1800s or something like that, it said that Coca-Cola had like 20 grams of cocaine in it or something like that. It was like a lot of cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
And it said, now we know why Mom and Dad always kept talking about how they were able to walk both ways uphill in the snow.
Walk to school
barefoot.
both ways in the snow.
Barefoot.
Oh,
they
yeah.
were on some real shit.
Yeah. I saw that, and I showed that. Right, I saw that, and I said something about it to my grandpa, and he went, "Yeah, that pretty much explains it." He was like, "Yeah, it pretty much explains it." Oh man. I mean, he's not wrong, no. He's not wrong, no.
For those of you in chat who don't know, there was one time where, like Coca-Cola originally had cocaine in it. That's why it was called Coca-Cola, because it had cocaine in it, and it also had the cola plant in it. And cocaine was majorly in it to give energy, and also to make people addicted to it, to sell it better.
I mean, to be fair, those soda shops used to be like, oh, you have a headache? Here, drink a soda.
I mean, let's face it, those drugstores were like, oh, you have a headache? Here's some cocaine.
Well, was it Bayer used to make tablets for, I think it was, but I think it's Bayer used to make tablets for like toothaches, but it was essentially a tablet of heroin.
Well, that's because heroin.
Yeah, and it's like this is for your toothache.
Well, that's because heroin does that. Like heroin, morphine, all that stuff. That was what that did. It was painkillers.
The painkiller, man.
But Aleve
it's still just
is a painkiller with less side effects.
Yeah, it's still just it. I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's weird to think about because, like in our day and age, Coca-Cola is like it's just Coke, like it's not healthy for you, but it doesn't have cocaine in it. Bayer makes aspirin. Most people don't think of it. Bayer was like, oh, you have a toothache? Here, take some heroin.
But back in those days, those drugs weren't really frowned upon as much. Like, I mean, they wouldn't give them, like, they were frowned upon, but not as heavily, I mean, back in those days, opium was the major issue, not everything else.
Yeah, opium was the big bad drug of choice.
Nowadays, you don't, okay, I'm just gonna say, if someone comes up to me and goes, "Yeah, I just got done doing a line of opium," I'm gonna be like, "Wow, you're an OG," because nobody does opium anymore. They'll do opioids, which are the same thing as opium, but like just imagine someone just smoking a block of opium or something like that. Or
I'm gonna be honest. My first thought is this dude's a time traveler, and he got so high he jumped forward in time. That would be my first thought.
Which, shockingly enough, I found out that, what's it called? It's an alcohol. It's called, it's green. People say
Whiskey.
You hallucinate when you drink it.
And no idea.
Gosh, I can't remember.
You know me, dude. You know me. I don't drink except for occasions, and even then, it's
gonna Google it real
very
quick.
little.
I'm gonna Google it real quick. It's a famous alcohol that people think is illegal, but it's not. Alcohol.
Google the booze
that makes you hallucinate. It actually doesn't make you hallucinate, but there was like this big campaign against it, saying how it makes you hallucinate. It's pretty much meth. Absinthe. There we go.
Absinthe.
Have you heard of absinthe?
I've heard of it.
It's a very strong liquor. Actually, I think it might be a wine. I don't know. But absinthe it was an alcohol majorly loved by very rich people. And it's actually funny because it was first loved by poor people, but now it's loved by rich people. It's really weird. But absinthe was.
I mean, is it?
It was an alcohol that people said caused hallucinations, which it doesn't. The major reason it did in the past was because people drank it with opium, but that's where that came from. Was I didn't realize that people. That's why it got that name, got that bad rap sheet because people would drink it with opium.
Yeah. This is something I know next to nothing on.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know the. I'm all about that history. I know next to nothing about the history of, booze and drug use in the world.
Yeah,
I mean, I know there were plenty of wars started over different things, but
yeah, I just saw a video on it about explaining the history of it, how how it got that name and everything. But majorly the premise is during the 20s, I believe it was. Absinthe,
Prohibition.
Absinthe before Prohibition.
Oh, okay.
Prohibition, I think, was the 30s, wasn't it? Or am I wrong? Was Prohibition the 20s?
I was pretty sure it was. Oh, it might have been after.
I'm not sure.
Why are you making me question history, dude?
I do know that Prohibition was during the Depression, because that's majorly when moonshine and stuff was getting out there. But I don't know if Prohibition was 20s and 30s or just the 30s.
Prohibition in the U.S., January 17th, 1920 to December 5th, 1933.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I knew you had me questioning it. You had me questioning it.
Maybe it was in the 30s
Why
or 40s.
you make me question my history, bro?
What I do know is it wasn't during Prohibition, because I think it was before Prohibition, because it wasn't during Prohibition because everybody was drinking and wine companies were a big thing.
I mean, to be fair, during Prohibition, everyone was drinking.
Openly.
Just
Everyone
saying.
was drinking openly.
Dude, there were instances of you showing up to New Orleans, getting in a cab, and the driver turn around, hey, you want a swig? I can get you a drink. You want one? Like, it wasn't as hidden as people like to pretend it was.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was. Anyways.
I mean, granted, some places they were strict, but there were still quite a few places where you could openly, hey, look over at the cop, hey, I'm drinking, you go do something? He just look at you and like, get out of here.
Well, the reason why I don't think it was during Prohibition was because wine companies were the major drive behind getting rid of absinthe, because they were losing profits. Because absinthe was the working man's alcohol, right next to whiskey.
I got you.
And the wine companies were losing money to that because it was gaining a lot of popularity. So they made a big advertising campaign against absinthe, and they even paid a doctor, if you can call him that, to prove, quote unquote, that absinthe not only causes hallucinations, but also causes homosexuality and many other issues in historic America.
I'm not sure how to feel about that statement. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I am not sure how to feel about that statement.
How it caused homosexuality?
Drinking absinthe caused homosexuality. I do not
keep
know
in
how to
mind this was
respond
during
to
the
that.
20s or the 1900s.
That is true. But that's still.
Yeah,
you're right. That is you're right. It is a thing back then, and it's still weird to think about that.
Yeah, I know, right? Like they even said that it turned. I think one of the major advertising hooks was it. They said how it could turn. It was able to turn good Christian girls into whores and prostitutes.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was. There was a major drive against it, and they said how it caused hallucinations, caused people to want to kill themselves, stuff like that. And it's literally just a really strong liquor. It is strong. I'm sure it could turn some Christian girls into prostitutes, But that's not just the alcohol talking at that point.
Jesus.
I'm starting to think that some good Christian girls aren't actually good Christian girls. But there was like a major drive against it and everything, and I do believe that's one of the like this campaign is actually one of the things that made alcohol, the prohibition, happen. That's why I think it happened before, because I think this is one of the major things that it didn't make it happen, but it helped make it happen because
it wasn't the driving force, but it was a force that helped.
Yeah, because it was one of the first times people started questioning: does alcohol make us sinners? But yeah,
Damn, man, we jumped.
It was.
Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, I remember they even said that they had pictures of like minors drinking and being like, is this what you want your children to look like? And he was all dredged up, covered in coal and everything like that.
Is this what you want your child to look like? I mean, he is a minor, so.
Oh, get out.
That's right. I got the jokes. You can't silence me. Me and my dad jokes.
You can silence me, but you can't silence the truth.
Oh man. Damn. I brought up.
Damn. Would you really classify Mass Effect as a space opera? I don't see no fat lady singing. Yeah, I'm done with you. Always play. I feel like I'd be a renegade. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know what I'd be, but like just by like the normal choices I usually make, I feel like I'd be a renegade. Like I would totally punch that reporter in the face. I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm done with you." Oh yeah, what's that?
Really, a lot of different races sacrificed themselves for this. It wasn't just humans, but a lot of races did sacrifice themselves. And she makes it a point to ask about humanity. And if you choose Paragon, Shepard will actually list off every human ship that was destroyed by name. And then Shepard goes, and yes, each one of them had a crew of maybe a few hundred. The Destiny Ascension, this ship had a crew of like 2,000. And then Shepard's like, and yes, I remember everyone, and I go to sleep every night thinking of them. I'm done with this interview, and walks away. And she's like, wow, I got bull rushed on my own show.
Wow. I got bull rushed on my own show. I mean,
Yeah, like that's it. You could take Renegade and punch her in the face, but like I chose the Paragon because I was just like, I'm about to show this lady up. The Shepard just straight up like Jakarta, Cairo, Seoul, like Shang, and like the name of all these different ships is like, yes, I know everyone. Yes, I know the name of every ship. Each ship crew maybe a few hundred. The Destiny Ascension had a crew of several thousand. And like, yes, I think about it every night. That was a call I had to make. And then they're just like goes through all this like, yes, I know what I've done. Yes, I don't believe I'm a bad person. You shut up, I'm done, and just walks away. I was like, ooh, Shepard getting sassy.
ooh, that gives me chills.
Like, ooh, Shepard.
Well,
oh man, like that's the thing about it. Like Paragon. I mean, to be fair, a lot of it is Paragon is I'm here to help, I'm the good guy. And Renegade a lot of time is, oh, all right then, and just shoot the dude in the foot because he irritated you, and like stay out of my way.
Me.
Or you're willing to. There's one mission where the Paragon and Renegade choices are completely, Paragon is like the whole. Your reason for being there is you're going after a mercenary leader. Paragon choice, because at one point in time, guy ignites an oil refinery, and there's people all in this refinery. Paragon option, you rescue the people, but the mercenary captain gets away. Renegade option, you say to hell with the people and get the mercenary captain.
Damn.
So, like, you do get missions where it's very clear this is the good guy option. This is the bad guy option. And then you get other missions where it's like the difference between Paragon and Renegade is whether or not you were like, all right, I'm done. All right, it's cool, man, it's cool, I'm leaving. Or, hey, fuck off, I'm leaving. Like, like, it's clearly you're like, I'm gonna be nice, and the other's like, I don't like you. You're an idiot. Like, so it's very small like that, and then you get others where it's very clear what the good guy and bad guy option are supposed to be. I mean, you do get the mission done, like, whichever way you do end up doing it. Like, the mission does get done. It's just whether or not you're willing to sacrifice people to do it. It's whether or not you're willing to, shoot a guy in the leg versus put your gun away and talk him down. It's a lot of different stuff like that. The first Mass Effect was big on like, it's kind of like, this is like, this is supposed to be the good option. This is like the bad option. There was a bunch of missions in between where, it was kind of like, up in the air. But one was really big on like, what's good and what's bad. It's kind of easy to tell. The second one where you're not with the Alliance, which is like the humans, where you're not with them, you're with Cerberus, you kind of get some leeway on what you can do, which is why you can punch a reporter and get away with it, because you're not technically in the army anymore.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you. However, if you don't punch the reporter once in the entire series, at the very end, if you talk to her, you get a special Paragon interrupt. Like, in a cutscene, these little things will pop up, like left trigger for good, right for bad, Paragon Renegade. You get a Paragon interrupt where you tell her to keep asking the tough questions, and she joins you as like a war asset. Because now she's asking all the tough questions, like, why aren't you helping? We helped you many times. Why aren't you helping? Oh, well, we have some bureaucratic. No, that's bullshit. Why aren't you helping? Is it because you're not gaining something from this? Is that why you're not helping?
Damn.
Which in the group chat, that's why I put that thing where like everybody talk about one of the characters is a space racist because she's like, listen, I'm not really a fan of aliens. Everybody's like, she's a space racist.
She's a space racist.
Yeah, because the space races is different from a regular one. I don't know how, but they're different because one's in space. But everybody's like, she's a space racist because she's like, yeah, I don't like aliens. And apparently her reason for not liking aliens is because her grandfather, is that her grandpa or her great grandpa, fought against the Turians, and her her relative was the only ship to ever surrender to an alien species. So like her name is kind of besmirched. Everybody kind of overlooks her for everything because they're like, "Oh, Williams, you're related to him. No, we don't want you." So she just kind of stays at like gunnery chief. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm not really a fan of aliens." And then eventually you can ask her like, "What about the council?" And she's like, "Well, the council does seem to have everyone's best interest at heart, but once their backs are against the wall, they're going." In Mass Effect 3, the first thing you do is like, Earth's being attacked. We need to go to the council for help. You go to the council. They're like, well, and the first thing they tell you is, well, I mean, the hard truth is, while the Reapers focus on your planet, we can shore up our defenses. And they essentially tell you, yeah, I'm like, well, she was right.
Damn, dude.
And like later things, later she was it you run into a guy who's like terra firma, humanity now, and she's like, I'm not a fan of aliens, but I ain't like these racists.
That's funny. Mass Effect. They just came out with the remake of all, like a collection of all the games,
Yes.
right? Have you been playing that?
Yeah, I got that, and I have been playing it. They have every DLC included. For $60, you get Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, and every DLC except for one DLC that was in the first one, and that's because the data was corrupted at some point, and they didn't have a copy of it, so they went to the team that they outsourced that DLC to, and they sent a copy of it. Someone searching through old files managed to find it and send it, but it was corrupted as well, so they just had to cut that one DLC from the whole thing. But I mean, there's still more than 40 plus DLC, so I mean, that one was just, they gave you like a small little arcade thing. Like you shot a bunch of holograms, and that was like you went from the new person who everybody was like, oh, you're not going to amount to anything, all the way up to the person at the top of the leaderboard, and this guy insists you're cheating because obviously you're cheating. There's no way you're better than him.
Obviously.
So that's all it was. Like that's all it was. It didn't impact the story. It didn't give you anything. Like, it was a little bit of new content, but for the most part, like, it did not impact the story whatsoever. Like, it was just like a little something extra to do.
Interesting.
Yeah. My phone dinged. That one caught me off guard. But yeah, I have been playing that one, and I'm probably gonna play Andromeda. Chat, please don't hate me, but I'm probably gonna play Andromeda.
Hey,
once
man,
I get finished
Andromeda
with
was
that
a good
series
ass
again.
game, and I still stand for Andromeda. Andromeda is the best game out of the four, in my opinion.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I enjoy. What other ones have you played?
It doesn't matter.
I think it does matter, good sir. Please share with the class.
In my opinion, I think it's the best out of all four of them because it's the only one I've played.
All four of them.
It's the only one I've bothered to play.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
That's right. The other three, horseradish compared.
You should probably play them before you can play.
Fight me.
No, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you, mainly because I don't have the gas money.
I'll fly
Listen,
you out
man, you live
here.
a ways away.
I'll fly you out here. Fight me,
Ooh,
IRL.
you go buy me a plane ticket. You come out here and fight. G-Man, G-Man versus Himaro.
Oh, who will win?
Who will win the game? Who will win the match of the century? But no, I enjoy Andromeda. Although I'm not gonna pretend that it didn't have its issues at launch. But I mean, in this day and age, what game doesn't have issues at launch? It did get better though. It progressively got better. The animations got better. Um, I mean, those probably should have been fixed before it was released, but hey, it got better. My only complaint is after what was it, like the 10th or 11th update, they just nothing. Like they just straight up like, yeah, we're not doing anything with this anymore. No
Well,
DLC.
that's because everybody was returning it, and it got shit on, and like PlayStation took it off the store.
Yeah.
I mean,
I still think that's dumb. That is dumb.
They probably economically couldn't afford to keep updating it. They probably were like,
yeah,
this is our worst done game. We kind of have to drop it.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean,
and to be honest, I don't think that's BioWare's fault. To be honest, they probably could have kept it going, but I blame EA for that, because EA just, they don't know how to run a business.
Couldn't make it the cash grab, man.
They just don't. I'm going to say it. They don't know how to run a business. It's surprising that they're still afloat, especially after all this COVID crap.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, they could just sell a few different companies off to Microsoft. It seems to be what everyone's doing at the moment.
Seems to be what's working too.
Yeah. I know. I've seen after the Legendary Edition come out, there's been quite a few Mass Effect related videos popping up, and everybody trying to guess what the next one's gonna. And you get your fair share. A lot of people being like, "Oh, maybe they'll bring Shepard back," because the trailer shows one of the characters finding a piece of N7 armor. So maybe Shepard's coming back, but
to be honest,
BioWare, I think, I mean,
just like Master Chief, I feel like they don't want to, but I feel like everybody's so in love with Shepard.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was another thing with Andromeda. Sorry to cut you off, but I think that was another thing with Andromeda. We got a new character, Ryder, and it's just, we spent 3 games playing as Shepard. Shepard was a badass man or woman who was either, the paragon of hope and virtue, or the renegade who would stop at no ends to get the job done.
But wasn't he just as badass as you make him? Isn't that the whole point? You get choices, like, isn't he?
There is these choices, but the thing is there's still a lot of stuff that happens cinematically, like the whole premise of it. Like the first one was you were the commander, you were on a mission, you were getting scouted out to become the first human Spectre. And once you do, then something happens. This is a big ship that you discover. You're like, okay, we need to figure out what that is. And you discover it's this ancient race of starships that has just been, this ancient race of starships that's just trying to get everything. And you just kind of, you stumble into this. And then you progressively, suicide mission, you go, the suicide mission, you have to, save not only the world, but the galaxy multiple times over, and you do all this stuff, and then like you get Ryder, and Ryder does amazing things in their own right. Like Ryder manages to terraform worlds and make them habitable so people can actually live there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just the fact that we spent 3 games doing these grand scale galactic like rescue missions time and time again. A lot of people like, I guess, really grew to love Shepard. And I'm gonna be honest. I love Shepard. Shepard's awesome. I think if they'd had time, maybe do a little bit more with Ryder. I mean, I don't know if I'll say Ryder will be on the level that Shepard is, but I think they can still do stuff with Ryder and make Ryder, make Ryder really good character. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't think that they're going to do anything with Ryder again, sadly.
I mean,
that game did so bad they stopped selling it. Like,
really hurts to hear that, but I know what you're saying.
Like, they even it did so bad they fired the original team or moved them somewheres, but they got rid of them and put a whole new team on it. Which again, I blame EA for that. I don't think it actually did that bad. I think that EA just is afraid of failure. And every time they touch it, they like, ooh! But yet they still keep doing it because they're shitty and crap. And I fucking hate them. EA, don't ever fucking sponsor me. I don't care who the fuck you are. Don't sponsor me, EA.
I feel like there's some animosity with that one.
Fucking hate
Someone's
EA.
a little angry.
I fucking hate
Someone's
EA.
a little angry.
I'm holding a knife and I hate EA.
Damn. Someone's really angry with this one. EAP in your Cheerios, huh?
Oh my gosh, dude. Every game they come out with, they pee in my Cheerios. And it just pisses me off because I never gave Mass Effect the time of the day. But when Andromeda came out, I tried it out. I loved it. And that's apparently the one where they're just like, fuck everything. And I'm like, oh! I liked Andromeda. I didn't get to play much of it, but I liked Andromeda. I liked the open worldness of it. I
know what you're saying.
The mystery of exploring another galaxy.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, man. I really enjoyed it too. There's there's some secrets that like a lot of people were like, a lot of people were like, oh, okay, so I guess they're gonna have this explained in a DLC. And then in one of the updates, we got a thing saying, oh yeah, we're not gonna be updating this anymore. There will be no DLC. This will be the last update, and
it makes me mad because they did the same thing with Cyberpunk. They did the same thing with Cyberpunk. They're just doing it with everything, but Bethesda gets a pass, because
Bethesda gets a pass because Bethesda's allowed to make janky games.
Because it's a meme.
I mean, yeah, it's a meme at this point. I mean, hell, I remember Fallout 76 when it come out. It got so bad. Like the people of Australia were like, yeah, this isn't what we were promised.
They sued
there
them.
was an entire there was a lawsuit, like the people of Australia against Bethesda. And this led to them offering, like, people who lived in Australia, this led to them offering them a refund.
I just love that moment when you do so bad that Australia sues you.
An entire country sues you. Well, it's like, what was it when the loot box thing got really big and there was a bunch of countries that were like, yeah, we're for, like, anti-gambling. We want to get rid of the loot boxes. And EA tried to stand their ground. They're like, no, we're doing a just thing. It's not. This is what the people want. And then like a bunch of countries decided, all right, cool. We just won't allow any EA products. They're like, oh, no, let's not get too hasty.
Let's not get too hasty. Again, EA, like this is what the people want. They want you to rip them off. Is that really
Okay.
the cloud you're going to stand on?
Oh yeah, and they
Oh,
were like, yeah, these loot boxes, and that poor woman, they had to take the stand and go, well, we don't call them loot boxes. We prefer to call it a surprise mechanic. That poor woman. Oh god.
we prefer.
She was paid to stand up there and say that. Literally, everyone's like, call it what you will, it's still gambling. You're paying for the chance to win something. You could spend $5 and get what you wanted the first try, or in most cases, you could spend 20 grand and never get close to what you wanted.
Surprise mechanic.
I tell,
No, a surprise
dude, that was a
mechanic.
legit thing.
A surprise mechanic is like in Metal Gear Solid when you're sneaking and someone goes, "What?" with the exclamation point.
What?
That's a surprise mechanic.
Stealth surprise mechanic.
but but gambling is not a surprise. Loot boxes is not a surprise mechanic.
No, like there were so many countries that were just like, oh yeah, that's essentially gambling.
Now, that, not just that. That's literally not a surprise mechanic. A surprise is when you're gifted something by surprise,
Yeah,
not when you pay for a possible surprise.
yeah, I pay $5. I'm gonna pay $5. I want this thing, and it wasn't like you could pay the money to just buy the character, or if it was like super expensive. So it's like you could either fork out $20 for a character, or spend $20 on loot boxes where you will probably not get the character you want.
Yeah,
So you
freaking
see, it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't things.
yeah. Like the major drive behind loot boxes is that is the idea of you getting what you want for a cheaper price. That's the idea behind them,
Yeah.
but you never do. And man, it's just like, you know what it reminds me of. You remember those carnival games at the fair that we used to
Yeah.
grow up with? You know, my parents always told me, you know, don't use those carnival games. Don't play those carnival games. Those carnival games are a ripoff. You're forced to lose. And like, you know, I one time tried it. I went to the fair by myself. You know, when I became a man, I tried it out, and after 3 tries, I won something. Spent like $10. I'm like, that's pretty cool. One little stuffed turtle. Gave it to my sister. As a gift, and they're like, "You won that at a game?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's right, Mom. I won it at a game. Just 3 tries. Cost me $10." She's like, "I bet you can find that at Walmart for $1." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!
Bet you I could find that at Walmart for $1.
Oh my gosh! That guy took me for a ride."
Yeah. I remember there was one game. Every time I'd go to a fair, I'd see if they had it. It was a game where you got a BB gun, and your goal is to they put a target off in the distance with a star, and you were supposed to shoot it where the star was not visible. Like you shoot out all the parts of the star. The thing is you got maybe just enough BBs to actually cover the entire star.
Yeah.
Like maybe just enough BBs to do it, and like and they always get your hopes up by having a couple of the little things with the stars, with the star punched out. They have it hanging up and be like, yeah, see, somebody won already.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it is possible.
A lot of those games have like a kill switch on it, where especially if it's a mechanical game, they'll have like a kill switch that allows them to like ruin the game at the last minute, and like they can technically be easy games, so they'll let some people win just to pull people in. They'll be like, see, yeah, no, it's all a scam, man. All that stuff is a scam. But you know what?
Yeah.
To be honest, it was either I was going to my parents were going to let me grow up with it, or I was going to fail at it once. Either or, I had to learn somehow. You know.
I got you. I got you.
Some people know they're a scam. They just play them for the experience.
They just do it for the fun of it. They try to do it. Yeah, like I used to know a guy who worked at he worked at a carnival stand. It was like the bottles. We had little plastic rings, and you had to like try to. He just kind of straight up was like, "Oh yeah, some of this stuff." He's like, "It's designed to be impossible," and I was like, "Impossible." I was like, "So there's no way you can get any of this? Right? There's no way you can actually do any of this?" He said, "No, there is a way. He's just most of them are designed and set up where there is a way. You just either have to be really lucky or you have to really know what you're doing."
Yeah, because they can't technically make them unwinnable because it's illegal.
Yeah.
So like,
because at that point it's not a game. That's a scam. Because if you say it's a game, you can win, but there's no physical way you can win. Yeah, at that point it's just a straight up scam. I mean, most of them are scams anyway, but they're at least somewhat winnable scams.
Yeah. Like there's one where there was like a target, and you had to bounce a ball off the target. It was like a little trampoline, like a tiny like canvas thing. You had to bounce it off the target and make it land into a bucket. And
I remember. I think I've seen one of those.
yeah, and the idea is to get all three of them in. That's how you get the big prizes. But the thing is you have to land it on the right spot of the target for it to gain the trajectory to just fall into the bucket. That's the thing that they don't tell you though. And that's the like there is technically a way to win if you know how math works and trajectory, and you know exactly how hard to toss the ball and the right place to hit it. And it was actually funny because the guy who's running it, he just got paid to run it, but he didn't care, and he was just like, he gave me the prize anyways, but he showed me, he's like, here, this is what you're doing wrong, and he actually did it all 3 times perfectly. He's just like, see, and he's like, and it's my job to stand here, show you how winnable it is, so that you can try. I'm like, wow.
Well, yeah, it's about like, was it the basketball one? The hoops on a lot of the basketball ones are the exact size of the basketball.
Wow.
Like, so the basketball will just fit in. It's either that or it's warped where it's not a circle. It's more like an oval shape. Like, it will go in. You just, like, it will go in. You just have to get it just right in order for it to go in.
Wow, man.
Yeah, that's what you get, man. You gotta know the right people, man. Gotta know some of them people working at the carnivals. They'll give you that insider knowledge. I'm telling you, man.
The major ones that give me is there's a winner every time.
Oh yeah.
Because you'll get something, but it'll be the shittiest thing in the world. And
you're like, oh, we have a winner. They give you like a little plastic toothpick.
You're like, what is this?
Like, you won. Like, what is this? What is this thing?
They'll give you like a stuffed animal, and you're like, oh, a stuffed animal, cool. And then you get home, and it literally like disintegrates because it was made in like Tibet.
They it's either that or you can still find the tag where they got it from the dollar store.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and you paid like $3 to play.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I could have just got this at a dollar store. I do remember when I was working, and the fair was packing up to leave town. This doesn't have anything to do with like fair games or carnival games or anything like that, but the fair had left town, and I was at work, and I looked over, and somebody ran around the corner of the building and went, "Oh my God, dude, there's a lemon at the gas pump." I said, "What?" I rounded the corner, and sure enough, there was a big lemon on the trailer at the gas pump. And I went walking over with this dude, and I was like, "What is this thing?" He's like, "Oh, we're a lemonade stand. We were just at the fair." All I know is I rounded the corner, and there was a huge lemon just sitting there.
Wait, was it a lemon-shaped car, or was it like a lemon on top of the car?
No. It was on a trailer, but it was a big lemon with a spot cut out, and there was a door on one side. So you walked into the lemon, propped it up, and you sold lemonade out of a big lemon.
Yeah. That's what I was picturing. That's funny.
I'm gonna be honest, I was probably more excited than I needed to be. I was just like, "Oh my God, that's a big lemon! I gotta get a picture of this." So I think we ran over, grabbed a picture of the big lemon.
When life gives you lemons, you drive it. You drive
Life
them.
gives you lemons, you drive that bad boy.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, I'm telling you, that was an interesting experience, to say the least. It was a big lemon.
It's funny. Well, on that note, I think that now is a pretty good stopping point for the first episode of the Tavern. It's getting ready. I gotta open in the morning, so it's getting about that time for me.
All right.
But and we're almost reaching the gold time for 4 hours. We're at 3 hours and 26 minutes. So I think that's 27 minutes now. So yeah, I think that's a good stopping point.
Keep talking. We'll get 30.
Thank you so much for joining me, G Man. And a big thank you.
No problem.
To Moist Penguin for joining us earlier. Next session, we will be joined by a guest speaker, my good friend Luckshot99. He's a pretty cool guy, and he does a lot of gaming streams on Twitch. Majorly recently Minecraft. So definitely tune in next time for that one. We're gonna interview him. It's gonna be super fun. And let's go ahead and make a challenge for the next session, G Man.
All right.
Let's make a little challenge. Let's see. What's the challenge? Let's play Skyrim. Me and you both.
Ooh.
Okay. No death playthrough.
No death playthrough.
Let's make it a little challenge, and by the next session, obviously, next session we will talk about it and have a good little laugh about it. I'll tell Moist Penguin about it too, see if he's up for playing it too. But yeah,
all right.
Little challenge for us. I was thinking we could do like a fun little challenge every session, at the end of every session, to give us good talking topics for the next session. You know.
All right.
Also to give us a good little experience. I tried doing a no death playthrough in Skyrim once before. It's a lot harder than you think.
No, I can understand that. Mm-hmm. I just recently started it up I'd say a few days ago. I was like, oh man, everything's just as easy as I remember, and then I ran into my first Spriggan. I was like, oh no, I've made a mistake.
Yeah, so no death playthrough. I'll say we get one retry each. If we accidentally die, we get one extra chance. But other than that, like
one retry.
After that, we just explain everything in the that we'll do that.
All right. So goal is beat the main story, or just do as much as you can.
Do as much as you can. Do whatever you can. Mods are enabled as long as they are for immersive or difficulty purposes, but other than that, like nothing to give you god powers or anything.
I'll probably just keep them off.
Yeah, me too. Other than like making trees bigger or like making Whiterun prettier, anything like that. Anything that is aesthetically pleasing is I'll allow. But yeah, no. Um, but yeah. But with that, we will go ahead and rate out. Um, um, if you don't know G Man, I don't know if I've ever told you this. Rating out is generally where I find another streamer and I pretty much send my entire stream to them, and
All right, all right.
I pretty much stream their stream, and they get the viewers that I send to them that I had originally. So it's a pretty fun way to like share the love. But as you guys know, my go-to always is whoever I raid, give them as much love and respect as you give me, and definitely give them some love. But Milwaukee is actually streaming. Milwaukee doesn't stream normally, so I'm gonna raid Milwaukee. And remember to give her the awesome raid emotes that we do. But let's see if I spell her name right. That's the major issue with it, is if I don't spell their name right, I don't know what will happen, but it won't raid them. Alright, Milwaukee. There we go. I believe that's right. But yeah, and on that note, thank you so much for joining me, G-Man. And thank you so much for joining me, chat. I will see you next time. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I will see you, G-Man, whenever we play D&D next. But yeah, thank you so much, and see you
No
later.
problem, no problem.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone. Okay, I just rated her, so now I can end the stream.